the authority of King Kane.
Imagine breaking Bundesliga records at Bayern Munich.
Kane. Harry Kane! Harry Kane scores! How many times have you heard that?
Imagine being the all-time top scorer for England.
And there is his immortal moment. Harry Kane's 54th goal for England. And he is England's all-time record goal scorer.
Harry Kane hit over 350 goals across his career, mastered every type of finish.
He is quite sensational, I like.
Yes, he is.
Great turn from Kane. It's Harry Kane! His movement, his attitude, he's everywhere on the pitch, Thomas.
It hasn't taken him long to become a Bayern Munich legend.
From relegation battles in England to the roar of the Allianz Arena, this is the rise of Harry Kane.
Because he's doing things that I've never seen a centre-forward do before.
It's Harry Kane who does Harry Kane things.
Harry Kane! It's Kane again!
Taking it! Oh! Just what he needed! Just what Bayern needed!
Before the record-breaking goals and the spotlight of Europe's biggest stage, Harry Kane was just a quiet kid obsessed with football. From the start, football was everything. He wasn't the fastest or the flashiest on the pitch.
A lot of the metrics might have suggested, well, he wasn't the quickest and he wasn't the most agile.
But he had this fire in him. He was always practicing, always trying to get better.
Harry was always asking, can we have a session? Can we do some more finishing?
As a young boy, Kane joined the youth academy at Arsenal, the rivals of the club that he would end up becoming a legend at. But he didn't last long. He was released at just 8 years old for being too chubby. I wonder what the scouts would think if they saw Lizzo. The rejection would have shattered most kids. But for Kane, it lit a spark. He bounced to local clubs like Ridgeway Rovers, the same grassroots team that produced David Beckham, before eventually landing a spot at Tottenham Hotspur's academy at the age of 11. Even there, Kane didn't turn heads at first. Coaches and scouts weren't sure if he had that it factor.
Those days, if you said to me that Harry would have become the celebrated player that he is, no, I wasn't sure. You know, because I say he was still developing at the time.
He wasn't the quickest.
Probably not the physique and what he showed today.
He didn't really play with flair, but he had a powerful shot and an obsession with improvement. A mentality that refused to quit. Little by little, he climbed the ranks. Not because of raw talent alone, but because of an unmatched will to get better.
Harry was never really put on a pedestal. Nothing was ever given to him.
He wasn't born a prodigy. He built himself, one training session at a time. And by the time he was 17, Kane was ready to take his first steps into senior football. But to get there, he had to leave North London and earn his stripes in the lower leagues. His destination lay in Orient.
Breaking news in Leighton Orient have signed the young Tottenham striker Harry Kane on loan. The 17-year-old is in England under 19.
In January 2011, a 17-year-old Harry Kane took his first step into senior football with a loan move to Leighton Orient in England's League One. Having impressed in Tottenham's youth setup, the teenager was sent to gain some first-team experience. Kane quickly made an impact at Orient, scoring his first professional goals and displaying from an early age natural goal-scoring instincts. The same instinct that goal diggers have when they find a nice rich athlete. In 18 appearances for Orient, he found the net 5 times in all competitions. The promising spell gave a glimpse of Kane's potential.
A humble young kid who just wants to learn, not what you used to say, typical big-time Charlie coming from the Prem.
At the time, Kane was a skinny teenager, but his intelligence and movement helped him compete against professionals even before he had fully grown into his frame.
He was very much learning from everybody he could.
You see, no man is ugly, he just needed to get his money up. Kane's successful loan stint at Orient built confidence and earned him trust, setting the stage for what would be bigger challenges ahead.
He wanted to move his career forward, to have been a part of that, and to be the manager that gave him that debut. Yeah, very proud to have done that.
The next chapter of Kane's development came a year later at Millwall. In January of 2012, the 18-year-old joined Championship side Millwall on loan for the second half of the 2011-2012 season. It was a move that Kane would later credit as a turning point. He stated that Millwall really turned him into a man. No, he wasn't referring to Millwall strip clubs, but rather the relegation battle pressure he experienced as a teenager.
Millwall, great loan, really enjoyed it. Kenny Jackett was a great manager for me. He was in a tough relegation battle at the time as well, but Kenny Jackett believed in me.
Relegation does build character, just ask Ramsdale. That guy's teams go down more than Sophie Rain. On the pitch though, Kane was an instant hit with Millwall. He scored 9 goals in 27 matches for them, including a bunch of crucial late season strikes that helped the club pull away from the relegation zone. His contributions, which showed that he had a maturity way beyond his years, earned him Millwall's Young Player of the Season award. The once shy teenager had proven that he could handle the physicality and intensity of the championship. Kane's successful stint at Millwall not only toughened him up mentally and physically, but also showed Tottenham that the young forward could deliver under pressure in senior football.
He got key goals, and his form at the Den as well was always fantastic.
Tottenham still felt that he needed development, but his performances were good enough that this time around, he got a loan stint in the Premier League.
A deadline day signing for Norwich City. They've announced the arrival of striker Harry Kane. He's joined on a season-long loan from Tottenham.
In August of 2012, Kane went on loan to Norwich City, eager to test himself at the top level. However, this chapter was more challenging than anything Kane had experienced so far. Things started brightly with Kane making his Premier League debut for Norwich.
It's a big day too for Harry Kane. At just 19 years of age, he had the bird as the focal point of the Norwich attack.
But almost immediately, misfortune struck. In only his second appearance, he got into a collision, fracturing his foot.
We had with Harry is that he got injured when he was with us.
The injury sidelined him for months, and he was eventually recalled by Tottenham early. In total, he only made 5 appearances for Norwich and failed to score a goal. Despite the setbacks though, the experience wasn't wasted. Training alongside Premier League players and facing an early injury taught Kane about the resilience required at the highest level of football. Even in Kane's brief time at the club, the youngster's work ethic and attitude left a positive impression in the dressing room.
And that was a real eye-opener for us when you used to look out and think, you know, he's definitely got the right attitude, he just needs that break.
That spell was a tough learning experience for Kane, one that tested him and made him even more determined to succeed when he returned to his parent club.
Transfer news from Leicester City now. They've signed Tottenham striker Harry Kane on loan until the end of the season.
In February of 2013, he went on another loan move, this time to Leicester City in the Championship, joining their push for promotion. At Leicester, Kane found himself in a talented squad trying to get back to the Premier League, which meant competition for a starting spot was fierce. He was often on the bench and had to make his mark as a substitute. Kane managed only 2 goals in 15 appearances for Leicester in all competition. While he didn't have a great goal tally, he gained very valuable experience once again in a high-stakes environment. Leicester City reached the Championship playoffs that season, and Kane experienced the intensity of a promotion battle, including the heartbreak of a dramatic last-second loss to Watford in the playoff semi-finals. That game was iconic, but Kane, well, he was watching from the bench. But again, even at Leicester, despite it being a brief stint, his teammates were aware that Kane was a hard-working young player who kept his head down and was eager to learn.
You know, started to get a bit more feel for his character as the time went on. After training, he was, you know, practicing his shooting non-stop.
I think lads always looked at him, even the senior boys, about his work rate, his dedication, his extras after training every single day.
Leicester ended up falling short of promotion, and that was the end of Kane's loan adventures. The 19-year-old returned to Tottenham that summer, hardened by his travels through English football's lower leagues.
All my loans, whether they were successful or not so successful, helped kind of define me and my mentality to come back and do what I've done here.
And was now ready to fight for a place at his boyhood club.
Like I say, I'm very happy to be here and looking forward to the future.
Returning to Tottenham, the club where Kane had grown up, he now faced a new challenge, breaking into the first team. For much of the 2013-2014 season, Kane was on the outside. He made a few appearances under manager Andre Villas-Boas, and later that season Tim Sherwood. But it wasn't until April of 2014 that Kane truly announced himself. Finally given a chance in the Premier League, he scored his first goal for Spurs on April 7th, 2014. And then he went on to score in 3 consecutive league matches. Those late season performances hinted at what was to come. Kane himself knew that was a pivotal moment.
But from that moment, I started playing games regularly and never looked back since, really.
He carried that momentum into the next season under new manager Mauricio Pochettino. The 2015 season was really Kane's breakout year. He grabbed a regular starting role and went on a goal-scoring tear that transformed him into a household name. He finished that season with 31 goals in 51 matches in all competitions. An astonishing season. Of those 31 goals, 21 of them came in the Premier League, many of them match-winning performances. The guy who was once a backup striker was now the focal point of Tottenham's attack. You could hear the love that Spurs fans had for him as they famously chanted, "He's one of our own." His performances earned him the PFA Young Player of the Year award. That season, he also scored 79 seconds into his senior England debut.
79 seconds? Is that right?
Capping off what was a dream year.
Just as, I dreamt it when I was young, so just a really special night.
Many at the time thought that Harry Kane was a one-season wonder. I mean, this guy literally came out of nowhere. He had gotten single-digit goals in all of his loan stints, and suddenly he was scoring 20-plus goals in what many people deem the best league in the world. But little did the critics know, Kane, well, he was only starting. Now, while Harry Kane's club career was flourishing, he was simultaneously building his legacy with the England national team. As I stated earlier, he scored just 79 seconds into his England career, a goal that announced his arrival on the international stage. It was a sign of things to come. Over the next decade, Kane would develop from this fresh-faced kid who was just happy to make his debut into England's captain and all-time record goal scorer.
For you, huge congratulations. You've now done it. England's all-time record outright goal scorer.
But we will get to that later. In the years that followed, Harry Kane established himself as one of the Premier League's most consistent and lethal strikers. He proved that the 2015 season was no fluke by scoring 28 goals in all competitions in the 2016 season and winning the Premier League Golden Boot. Then, he repeated the feat in the 2016-2017 season, claiming a second straight Golden Boot, this time scoring 29 league goals as Spurs finished Premier League runners-up. Kane had only become the 4th player in Premier League history to score at least 20 goals in 3 consecutive campaigns. His name was now among the best to have ever played in England, like Alan Shearer, Ruud van Nistelrooy, and Thierry Henry. The next season though, Kane started off kinda slow, but after failing to score in Tottenham's first 3 games, he reminded everyone just how good he was. In the span of just 4 matches across all competitions, he netted 2 goals in 3 of them, storming back into form. His first strike against Everton on September 9th wasn't just another goal, it was his 100th for the club, achieved in just 169 appearances. A milestone and a statement. Incredible efficiency. I struggled to get that ratio even with my Ultimate Team striker. Then came Europe. On September 26th, under the Champions League lights, Kane delivered his first ever hat-trick in the competition, dismantling Apoel with clinical precision in a 3-0 win. That month he scored 13 goals in 10 games for both club and country. He was even named the Premier League Player of the Month. But Kane wasn't done rewriting records. On December 23rd, he equaled Premier League legend Alan Shearer's record of 36 league goals in a calendar year, doing it with a hat-trick away to Burnley. Just days later, in Spurs' final game of the year, Kane shattered the record with yet another hat-trick.
And a Premier League record is set by Harry Kane. 37 Premier League goals.
This time against Southampton in a 5-2 win. It was his 6th Premier League hat-trick of the year, something no player in league history had ever achieved in a single calendar year. He finished 2017 as Europe's top goal scorer with 56 goals, ending the long-standing reign of Messi and Ronaldo.
Okay, so records-wise, we know you've beaten Shearer's record, which was building up for a little while. You've also managed to get ahead across Europe, in front of the likes of Ronaldo and Messi, which I know is going to be special.
A new superstar had emerged. January of 2018 brought even more milestones. With a brace against Everton in a 4-0 win, Kane became Tottenham's top Premier League scorer, surpassing Teddy Sheringham's 97-goal tally. Then on February 4th at Anfield, Kane coolly slotted home a stoppage time penalty to bring up his 100th Premier League goal, becoming the 2nd fastest player to reach the milestone, only behind Alan Shearer.
To give Tottenham a precious point. And it's 100 Premier League goals for Harry Kane.
By April, Kane was once again named in the PFA Team of the Year, his 4th consecutive inclusion, joining the elite company of Mohamed Salah and Sergio Aguero. And in June, he made it official. He wasn't going anywhere. Kane signed a new contract with Spurs, committing his future to the club until 2024. It was no longer just a purple patch. He was one of, if not the best number 9 in the world. Kane became Tottenham's vice captain and on-field leader, often wearing the armband. He led by example, whether it was scoring a last-minute goal or dropping deep to create chances for his his teammates, he was unbelievable. In fact, that's what makes Kane so special. He not only scored, but he would create at an unbelievably elite level for his teammates. Under Mauricio Pochettino's management, Spurs, led by Kane's goals, achieved their best run in decades. Consistent top 3 league finishes and a memorable journey to the Champions League final in 2019. Oh, how Spurs fans must miss this era. Back when you could Google the Premier League table and you could actually see Spurs. People forget, but Kane contributed a lot of crucial goals en route to that final, although unfortunately Tottenham fell short of the European crown. While some still criticize Kane for that loss, even though he was playing injured, his individual brilliance couldn't be questioned. He was one of the most elite strikers out there. He showed it again in 2021, the season that was arguably the greatest of Harry Kane's career. He kicked off things by scoring in a Europa League match against Lokomotiv, but it was his performance in the second Premier League game of the year that made headlines. In a 5-2 win over Southampton, he didn't just score, he assisted all 4 of Heung-min Son's goals. It was the first time in Premier League history that one player has set up another player 4 times in a single match. And Kane, well, he didn't slow down. He scored a hat-trick against Maccabi Haifa to help Spurs qualify for the Europa League group stage. Then, in a massive 6-1 win over Manchester United at Old Trafford, he bagged 2 goals, making it Tottenham's biggest ever win at that stadium. Milestones, well, they kept coming. Kane scored his 200th goal for the club in his 300th appearance, this time in the Europa League against Ludogorets. Not long after, he found the net in a 2-0 win over Arsenal, becoming the all-time top scorer in the North London derby with 11 goals.
He is always the man for the North London derby.
That also marked his 100th home goal for Spurs and his 250th career goal for club and country. The start of the 2021 year was no different. Kane just continued his brilliant form. He scored a penalty,
New year, same Kane,
and assisted another in a 3-0 win over Leeds, becoming the first player in Europe's top 5 leagues to reach double digit for both goals and assists that season. Then came another record. Kane has more records than Bellingham's girl has partners. In March, Kane and Son set the Premier League record for the most goal combinations in a single season, linking up for their 14th goal together in a win over Crystal Palace. To cap it all off, Kane scored his 23rd league goal on the final day of the season in a 4-2 win against Leicester City, winning his 3rd Golden Boot. He also ended the season with the most assists, earning the Playmaker of the Season award. That made him the first player in Premier League history to win both the Golden Boot and the Playmaker award in the same season. Imagine performing like this for a club that finished 7th. These guys would have been in a relegation fight without Harrow. It was a season full of records, milestones, and brilliance. It was Harry Kane at his absolute best. While Kane was also becoming a star at club level, he was also rising fast for his country. By the 2016 season, Kane had become a regular for England. He made his major tournament debut at the Euros in 2016. The tournament, though, didn't go as planned. England were knocked out early, but it was a big learning moment for Kane. That experience would shape him for what was to come. 2 years later, at the 2018 FIFA World Cup in Russia, Kane was handed the captain's armband by Southgate.
I felt like I finally arrived in a major tournament.
The sun has set and it is a thrill to welcome you to this enticing Euro-African World Cup clash. Hassan got across, but it's turned in from close quarters by Harry Kane!
I loved my second World Cup goal, the last-minute header against Tunisia.
Maguire Kane has stolen it at the death! That's what he's there for! A pile of English joy!
At just 24 years old, he took on the responsibility and led by example. He guided a young and hungry England squad on a magical run to the semi-final, their best World Cup performance since 1990. Kane was unstoppable in front of goal. He scored 6 times, including a hat-trick against Panama.
Only the 3rd English player to score a hat-trick at a World Cup finals.
Harry Kane becomes the first England player to score 4 goals in a group stage, which is mightily impressive.
And a calm penalty against Colombia in the round of 16. He ended the tournament as the top scorer and won the Golden Boot. The world now knew Harry Kane, not just as a goal scorer, but as a leader. England's World Cup dream ended with a heartbreaking semi-finals loss to Croatia, but Kane's impact was clear. He had become the face of the national team. He carried that momentum into Euro 2020. Once again, Kane captained England and helped lead them all the way to the final, their first in a major tournament since winning the World Cup in 1966.
From him is Jack Grealish playing it there, and now Harry Kane breaks his European duck, and England are in dreamland. Kane's in here and puts England ahead. Early breakthrough, and Harry Kane is active again. There's Kane, and it's 3-0 to England. There's no doubt about which way this one is going now. 2 for Kane.
Kane scored 4 goals during that tournament, most of them in crucial knockout games. His most unforgettable moment came in the semi-finals against Denmark. With the match in extra time, he stepped up to take a penalty. It was saved, but Kane pounced on the rebound and scored, sending England to the final.
And England lead 2-1. Kane on the rebound.
He makes a good save. The ball could have gone anywhere, but it goes straight back to Harry Kane.
Although England fell short in the final, losing to Italy on penalties, Kane had once again delivered. His goals, leadership, and calm under pressure were key to England's historic run. He had shown the world once again why he was the heart of the Three Lions. The road in the 2022 World Cup, though, was far more difficult. Kane was as great as ever in the qualifier, scoring multiple hat-tricks. But in Qatar, problems arose. Kane actually scored twice in the tournament and was looking as sharp as ever, going into the quarterfinals against France.
For one, the last dance. For the other, perhaps a prelude to greater glories.
So when England got a penalty, everyone held their breath. For many, this felt like a free goal.
Well, he's not usually faced by much, Harry Kane, when it comes to knocking the ball in the back of the net.
After all, Kane had scored much harder chances than a simple penalty from 18 yards out. So when England got a second penalty against France, everyone thought that England had booked their place in the semi-finals.
But now, the mind games begin again. Harry Kane has answered the prayers of English football followers often enough.
He stepped up and missed. The man, who at the time was tied with Rooney for England's all-time scoring record, had just cost his nation a trip to the World Cup semi-finals.
Harry Kane cannot answer the call. French jubilation. Of all people.
Now, fortunately for Kane, he was still killing it at Spurs. The 2023 season saw him reach a historic milestone at Tottenham. On the 5th of February 2023, Kane scored against Manchester City to notch his 267th goal for Spurs. Surpassing the legendary Jimmy Greaves to become Tottenham Hotspur's all-time leading goal scorer. The club record, which had stood since 1970, fell to a player who joined Spurs as an 11-year-old schoolboy. In that same season, he actually ended up breaking another record, this time for England. On March 23rd, 2023, in a Euro qualifier against Italy and Naples, Kane scored a penalty just before halftime to register his 54th goal for England, surpassing Rooney and becoming the highest goal scorer in England's men's history. It was a landmark achievement. Kane had reached the summit in just 81 appearances, a testament to how incredibly efficient he was in front of goal. He would continue to add to his tally for the remainder of the season at club level. In fact, when it was all said and done, he scored 280 goals in 435 appearances for Tottenham in all competitions. It's a crazy record, and no doubt he is a Tottenham legend. Season after season, Kane delivered for them. He reliably scored 20 plus goals a season. In fact, from 2014 to 2021, Kane got at least 24 goals in all competitions each season. In 2018 and 2023, he got 30 league goals. And then of course in 2021, not only did he score 20 plus goals, but he was also at the top of the assist charts. This guy is a complete forward. However, there was one glaring thing that was missing in his Spurs story. Despite all the goals and the records, Kane had not won a trophy with the club. No, we are not counting the Audi Cup. Multiple title challenges had failed, and finals ended in defeat, leaving him without a winner's medal. After a decade of personal triumphs, but no major team silverware in North London, Kane faced a career crossroads in the summer of 2023. Cause what more can he do individually? Every season he was putting up video game numbers, and yet Tottenham were further away than they had ever been to an actual trophy. You see, after the 2019 Champions League final, many thought that that was the path for Tottenham eventually becoming winners. They had a young core, a good manager, and it seemed like with a couple of fixes, Tottenham could make some real noise. But now, even despite Kane's incredible goal scoring, Tottenham were struggling in the league. As a result, Kane made the difficult decision to leave his boyhood club in search of silverware, because he knew that if he wanted to win something, it wasn't going to be at Tottenham.
Major breaking news, Harry Kane has told Tottenham he wants to leave this summer.
Yeah, the huge breaking news is that Bayern Munich and Tottenham have agreed a deal now for England captain Harry Kane. So I guess Kane just has a decision to make.
Well, Kane ended up transferring to Bayern Munich, a German giant with a history of winning. The move was huge. Bayern are usually very frugal with their spending, but they had paid over 100 million euros for Kane, a fee that made him the most expensive transfer in Bundesliga history. Harry Kane, by the way, got his jersey from buygamejerseys.com, and he used the code PedTalks for a discount. Signing a 4-year deal in Munich, Kane embraced the new challenge of a foreign league. He was ready to compete at the highest level. The pressure was now on to deliver trophies. Kane didn't take long to settle in. He scored on his Bundesliga debut and immediately began doing what he does best, putting the ball in the back of the net. From his very first few games, it was clear Kane was not just adapting to German football, he was dominating these guys. After scoring on his Bundesliga debut, he quickly began to pile up goals at a rate that even exceeded his Tottenham days. It shouldn't really have come as a surprise. This guy was destroying everyone in the Premier League on a subpar team. Now he was on the best team in the Bundesliga. His great form included hat-tricks and some great performances in the Champions League. Bayern fans were loving their new striker. His leadership and professionalism were very obvious. He finished the 2024 season with 36 Bundesliga goals, winning the European Golden Shoe. He also finished as the joint top scorer in the Champions League with 8 goals. He was named in the team of the season both for the Bundesliga and the Champions League, showing that his impact went far beyond Germany. Unfortunately, it seemed like Harry Kane was still cursed. He joined a club that was guaranteed basically at least one trophy every year, but the one year that he went to Bayern, they won nothing. Thankfully though, his good individual form continued into the summer that year as he continued to play well for England. He scored his first goal of the 2024 Euros against Denmark, then scored the winning goal over Slovakia in the round of 16. Yes, many people talk about Bellingham's bike in this game, which of course was crucial. It gave England a lifeline, but people forget the game was still tied. It was Kane's header that gave him the win. Then Kane redeemed his miss from the 2022 World Cup by scoring the equalizer against the Netherlands from the spot. People love bringing up his low moments, but never praise the number of times that he has come through when needed. But once again, Kane's curse continued, and England ended up losing in the Euro final. It's sad to see, really, a striker who has been unbelievable individually, yet his teams don't win. Well, Kane went into the 2025 season eager to finally get his first trophy, and he picked up right where he left off for Bayern. He scored in the DFB Pokal, then in the Bundesliga, and then put up back-to-back hat-tricks, including 4 goals against Dinamo Zagreb in the Champions League. He became the fastest player to reach 50 Bundesliga goals, doing it in just 43 games, faster than even Haaland did. His goals had helped push the team to the top of the Bundesliga and deep into the Champions League. After years of individual brilliance without team trophies, Kane is on the verge of finally lifting major silverware. Yes, once again, the Audi Cup does not count. Beyond the goals and the trophies, the Bayern chapter of Kane's career is also about him proving himself on a new stage. He embraced a new culture and added pressure. Many players crumble from the weight of added pressure from a record transfer fee, but not Kane. He embraced it, and if anything, that fee looks like a bargain now. Even in new colors, Kane has continued showing that he's one of Europe's most dangerous strikers. New country, new teammates, it didn't matter. He continues to add to his tally. He has scored in major tournaments for England, big Champions League nights for Bayern. He is absolutely world class. Beyond the goals, his influence as a captain has also been widely praised. He leads by example with his work ethic and calmness under pressure. He's one of the greatest strikers to ever play the sport. Hopefully people will start appreciating just how good he is.